Donald Trump was finally confronted over his secret girlfriend, Natalie Harp, in the Oval Office today. Now, this, of course, comes after yesterday Senator Jon Ossoff finally made the media focus on the fact that Donald Trump is having a love affair. And I think Democrats need to understand their power and being able to shape what the media talks about more. For the longest time, every single topic of conversation has been dictated by Donald Trump and his propaganda outlets. That needs to change today, because you can get the media to focus on the files, to focus on Trump's failed war, and to focus on his girlfriend, which is what they did today, and Donald Trump did not like it. And it's especially bad, and was especially bad for Trump, because it came right after he was screaming at a CNN reporter asking him very basic questions about his war is where I want to start a screaming Trump, right before he got asked about Natalie Harp.
But I get along with him very well. No, what I'm doing is making things safer. Just the opposite. Quiet. You're very disrespectful in front of this young man. Okay? Don't you find her disrespectful? He understands. Quiet. Who are you with?
I'm with CNN.
Fake news. You're fake news. You're a loud, boisterous person. You're fake news. Be quiet. Be quiet. Be quiet. You're a fake reporter, and you report fake news. Go ahead.
Mr. President, is there enough food on the USS Lincoln?
Yeah, it is. That was a CNN fake news. Be quiet. Be quiet. Be quiet. You're a fake reporter, and you report fake news. Go ahead.
Mr. President, is there enough food on the USS Lincoln?
Yeah, it is. That was a CNN fake report. The Lincoln has been out there for a period of time, good period of time, but over the years we've had them out there much longer. I was at a group meeting, and an admiral came up to see me over the weekend, and it was at a big group, and he happened to be an admiral retired. He said, "I've been on ships that are out there much longer than that, sir, and I know people on the Lincoln, they say it's beautifully maintained and beautifully taken care of." And other people went out and they found out to be true. It was fake news reporting from CNN.
Very funny for Donald Trump, the fake president and fake billionaire and fake tough guy, to call someone a fake reporter. What does fake reporter mean? They're in the White House. They're asking you questions. They're doing reporting that seems like a real reporter to me. If you want to call the news fake, sure, you're lying. We know it's bullshit, but the reporting is happening in the moment. This is a real story. These questions need to be answered, of course, about the USS Abraham Lincoln, but also about Natalie Harp. For a myriad of reasons, she represents so many problems in the White House. She represents Donald Trump's very clear and obvious cognitive decline. She's basically his dementia nurse who carries around his diapers and probably gives him his pills. Natalie Harp also represents the broad corruption that everyone in this White House, and outside of it as well, takes part in, with Donald Trump's posting on Truth Social posts that are now being sold early to anyone willing to pay $100,000 a month. And we know that Natalie Harp has access to that phone. It's also representative of the distraction. Donald Trump loves Natalie Harp, feeding him lovely stories from actual fake outlets about how quite rankly wonderful he is. But that's not the case. Donald Trump's approval rating has never been lower, and his focus is on anything but actually keeping the campaign promises or lies that he told in 2024. Donald Trump was actually confronted over one of those, the ballroom, a little bit later in this gaggle that he had in the Oval Office. But of course, what we really need to talk about is Donald Trump and Natalie Harp. Donald Trump was finally confronted. His response was just bad.
Travel with your aide, Natalie Harp, and build the ballroom and do your job as president. What is your response, Jon Ossoff?
You mean Pee Wee Herman? Pee Wee Herman lookalike? No, I would much rather do other things. We're building a great facility here. We're fixing a White House that hasn't been taken care of. You can look at this. This room was a disgraceful situation, the Oval Office, and it was let go. The whole building, the White House, was let go. The exteriors were falling apart. The columns were falling apart. The whole place was a mess. In addition, they've been trying to get a ballroom for the last 150 years. And when I said I was going to build a ballroom, the military asked if they could see me. And they say, "Sir, we have an opportunity to go down deep into the ground and build a military facility to go to the White House and to go with all of Washington, D.C.
Can we stop it with the ugly stuff? But before we even get to the Natalie Harp of all of this, can we stop it with the ugly stuff? Like, there are a lot of people in our politics who are ugly. Stephen Chong, that is an ugly guy, right? The White House communications director, the big job of the hut-looking blob, that is an ugly, ugly person. Stephen Miller is an ugly person. You can't just call someone ugly because you don't like them, and if you're doing it, it means you don't actually have a response, which Donald Trump does not. Senator Ossoff, and not that I need to, fanboy here, but it's, widely regarded as one of the better-looking members of Congress. The guy's hot, he's a smoke show. It's undeniable go to electjohn.com and donate, because he's hot, and because he's going to win Georgia by a bunch, and we need him too. But Donald Trump resorting to calling him a Pee Wee Herman look-alike, I've never seen John Ossoff do one of... That's Pee Wee Herman dance for those not familiar. I've never seen John Ossoff do that. So, does he ride his bike? Is that what it is? Probably he's an in-shape guy. I'm going to stop talking about how attractive John Ossoff is, but this is such a weak-ass retort, and it's what we see more and more from Donald Trump. He used to be the nickname guy. He wasn't good at them. I didn't like them. But that was part of kind of his whole appeal, is that he could hit back. And it was Little Marco. And it was it was a low energy. Jeb, Crooked Hillary. Sleepy Joe. I don't like they were better nicknames than what he calls them, John, John, Jack, Jack off, Saw, off. It's like a bad, jerk off joke. That's all Donald Trump has. And calling the hottest senator ugly. What are we talking about? It just goes to show that Trump is unprepared to answer questions about Natalie Harp. And so I am, again on bended knee, asking the mainstream press, please ask him more questions about Natalie Harp. It freaks him the fuck out. He doesn't like it. He's afraid to answer them. He can't answer them because Donald Trump has dementia. Natalie Harp is his nurse, and of course, he's losing his mind. This is the most obvious. It's a home run. Just take a swing at it. He's losing his mind. He hates this question that is revealing of it all, the fact that he couldn't answer it. So please do continue to press on this. It is an important story to push back against. And not only because Donald Trump is having an affair, and that's bad, and it's weird and it's gross, but also I think one of the things that breaks through the most about this administration right now from a communication standpoint is its lack of focus, right? That is the point that Senator Ossoff was making, right? He wasn't just saying Natalie Harp's name to get Donald Trump riled up, although I'm sure that was part of it. It's part of this broader narrative around corruption, and of course Donald Trump's lack of focus on actual things that matter, like Donald Trump constantly focusing on the ballroom, which he did in this godforsaken wild rant right here.
Especially her.
The people who are opposing the ballroom and challenging it, have they offered any sort of solution or sort of compromise, or do they just say there's no hole there?
The people that are opposing the ballroom are people that, in my opinion, are very disloyal to our country, very, very disloyal to our country. And I think we're doing very well. We're way ahead of schedule. We're under budget. It's going to be the most beautiful ballroom of its kind. You know, when I was in China, we went to the Great Hall of China. It was this big, beautiful building. And we don't have anything like that. And we have to have that. It's very important. But we also are getting tremendous military protection, drone protection. The building is drone-proof. It's missile-proof as much as something can be missile-proof. It's totally bulletproof. Any bullet, nothing can go through the windows. We have, all top-of-the-line stuff. It's very safe. And the one thing, it's not for me, because I'm going to be here a very short period of time when it's finished. If it finishes right on time, on budget, on time, I'll be there for 4, 5, 6 months. This is for future presidents. This isn't for me. This is for future presidents. And it's a gift. We're making a gift to our country, spending hundreds of millions of dollars to build a ballroom. And it's a gift from great patriots of this country. From, as an example, I'll give you names. released some of the names. In fact, I wanted to put them out today, but we got a little busy, and this was, frankly...
He truly does not care about anything that actually matters. He truly does not care about anything that actually matters. That right there. Ladies and gentlemen, is a wonderful message to bring into the midterms. Donald Trump is focused on the ballroom and saying, oh, quite frankly, China loves it. China loves the ballroom. Honestly, if we're on doing the kind of the Donald Trump dementia analysis here, Donald Trump was very taken with the displays that the Chinese put on for him during his visit. Would I be surprised if they told him to focus on the ballroom, and that the ballroom is great, and it was a magnificent project to take his focus away from actually doing anything of consequence, maybe in relation to his war on Iran? Of course, the Chinese are supporting the Iranians in their and their defense against the United States. But, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, Donald Trump is the easiest person on the planet to play at this point. Like, if you can just get a little time with Donald Trump, I think about this all the time. Like, I think if I got a meeting with Donald Trump, I could probably get him to support Medicare for all. Like, you just be like, wow, Donald, you're such a wonderful man. And have you heard about Medicare for all? We could call it Trump Care for All. And people would love you. They'd say, how fantastic, even Republicans like it. Look at this. They would love you. And they'd be like, I do love, and being loved. Like, he's a stupid man. And I think the entirety of the world has really recognized that and is playing on it. It's why I talk about the fact that, currently this assassination plot that Donald Trump is always talking about is bad intelligence from the Israelis, who are hoping Trump is angrier with Iran, so he continues to fight this war. Like, Donald Trump's cognitive decline is a real problem, and so is his lack of understanding of the war he's fighting, as we saw right here.
And many presidents are going to use it for many years to come. The country will have one of the greatest gifts it's ever received. One more.
Last week you said that you would soon declare the Strait of Hormuz to be a territory of the United States. Could you elaborate?
Well, I just think it's a great idea. Yeah, I mean, we control it. We control it with the blockade. We have a blockade. We control it with the blockade. And I like the idea of declaring it a territory.
Why might you do that?
We have total control over the strait. Now, they can be a nuisance. They can put a mine in the water, and people don't like having mines hit their billion-dollar ships, et cetera. But the blockade has been very effective. And, we're taking out, now maybe that will stop, or maybe it'll open up even further, but we're taking out millions of barrels of oil a week. If you look at the kind of numbers that we're doing, the strait is open. And the oil prices are coming down, and they will continue to come down unless we decide to do something far more drastic than we're doing. Iran is in big trouble. They have 300% inflation. The country's a mess, and the military is totally defeated.
This is just a man wholly detached from reality. We are not seizing the Strait of Hormuz. The cost-benefit analysis there is surely not good. It's also stupid. It's not feasible, and that's kind of every plan that Donald Trump comes up with for this war. Stupid, not feasible. Something that his, goobers online will, yeah, good for Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump's gonna do. Get it done. That's what they're like. I'm sorry. That's a Trump supporter. Sorry to my friends out there with Southern accents. I do love you down in the South. You have Cookout, and I'm jealous because Cookout is great. But, yeah, this is what Donald Trump does. Back up against the wall. He's going to offer up some ridiculous promise that's never going to come true. These were the dole checks. These were the tariff refund checks. We're waiting. How many thousands of dollars of checks are we waiting on from the Trump administration at this point? Is it 8,000? Is it 9? Because they promised us, was it $5,000 dose check? Never saw that tariff. Apple saw it. Amazon saw it. Right? We didn't get any of that money. It's all bullshit. It's always all bullshit. But we are going to continue to call out on this show. We're also going to call out Natalie Harp. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video. If you stuck around at the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.